Today we're going to be trying out the Real Techniques Diamond Sponge. I'm very excited about this. You've probably seen this before now. I've seen it before now, obviously because I bought it, but every time that I've seen it I've been intrigued and I've been thinking I've got to try this out and see, is it just a gimmick or is it actually better than the Beauty Blender, which is some kind of Gandalf type of magic makeup tool. I'm a huge fan of the Beauty Blender, and as you know, I'm also a huge fan of the fake Beauty Blender. So this is going to take a lot to impress me, or it's going to take a lot to make me like it more than those two. So in a minute, I'm going to get to applying my makeup with this, and we can do a first impression together. However, I will just give you a little bit of info first, because it would be a little bit neglectful of me not to. This multifaceted miracle diamond sponge, do you know what? Let's get it out. I feel a bit bad. It's in there. Let's get this out. And I hope this is not going to be one of those products that, you know, packaging. All I have to say is packaging. How annoying is packaging? And the worst packaging of all, I know other people have said this, but scissors packaging. Scissors. Like, you've obviously not got any scissors, so you're buying new scissors. And then the packaging to get into the scissors requires a pair of scissors to break into it. I mean, who designed that? Got the sponge, I birthed it out of its packaging. So congratulations, Anwen. Here is your new baby sponge. I love it. This is what it looks like. I'm going to read you out the claims. This multifaceted, by the way, I love the phrase multifaceted. I learnt that when I used to dye my hair, and it was like the word of my teenage years. Whenever I could throw multifaceted into a conversation, I always would. I'd be like, yes, Mum, I'm really enjoying my pasta today. I feel like it's very multifaceted with the avocado and the cheese in there. At every opportunity, I would exploit to use the word multifaceted. Anyway, back to the sponge. The Miracle Diamond Sponge is designed to work with multiple products on different areas of your face. No two sponges are alike. Each has its own unique swirl design. So if you can see the grey bits on it, they're basically saying that every sponge has its own unique design, which is not in any way important to me whatsoever. I couldn't care less. If it didn't have the grey bit on it, I wouldn't care. So I don't really know why that's a big point that they wanted to make here. I'm not bothered about the swirl. That's not going to help me put my makeup on, is it? And get a flawless finish. No. Basically, it's advising you use this top flat area to buff and blend for a flawless finish. The smaller flat sides around the top, you work around eyes, mouth and brow bone. So like, okay, yeah, I can see that. So you could go there, around that mouth. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. The pointed tip covers small imperfections. So like this beast and this beast, I think would fall under that category of small imperfections. And the larger flat sides, so these bits here, function as a wedge to apply makeup to larger areas. So maybe if you're going to like do that whole, you know, baking of the under the contour area kind of situation, I suppose that would work. Really interesting thing online actually about, do you know what? I'm going to just go wet this beast and we're going to start applying makeup, and I can talk as I'm applying makeup. Just wetted. Is wetted a word? Dampened? Dampened? I've dampened. I don't like the word dampened. But anyway, I don't want to say moist because I know no one likes moist. Anyway, it's now wet. And it's not really got, I don't think it's got that much bigger. But what I did notice was when I was kind of squeezing it under the tap, it got a lot bigger. And now it just got smaller again. That's what she said. What was this? Sorry, could not stop myself. The thing I noticed as well, it feels very similar to, you know, those stress balls where they've just got a lot of like give. It feels like a stress ball. It doesn't feel as like, I don't think it feels as dense in a way as a real beauty blender. It reminds me a lot actually of the counterfeit beauty blender that I have, because it just feels a lot more stress ball like a lot more kind of bouncy, and like, if I'll try and show you. So if you squeeze it, can you see it takes a little bit of time just to reform into its shape, like that? Do you see what I mean? Do you get it? Just, I don't know, it's a bit more laid back. It's like you squeeze me and I'm happy here, but oh, I'm going back to my usual self now. I'm back. So I'm going to use my favourite foundation of the moment, because I'm so fickle with foundations. It's a favourite foundation until I find another foundation that I like more. This is the LA Girl Pro Coverage High Definition Foundation. I have a first impression on this. I'll link it below if I remember, probably not. But also, just another thing to mention, I know you're thinking, Anwen, just get on with it. We want to see some blending action with this diamond sponge, but it's coming, it's coming. Just one thing to mention. You know, a lot of these beauty YouTubers have these really fancy, like, little silver or glass little plates, like a foundation plate that they put their foundation on, and then they pick it up from that plate. They have really fancy ones. Okay, so I thought, do you know what? I'm going to have to get myself one of those plates. But I just thought, well, I don't really want to spend money on a plate for a foundation. It's only going to be on there for a second. So I have utilised this. And this is actually, well, it came with a little, like a makeup toy set that I got for Andreas, because I'm a big believer in, like, I don't like to impose, like, gender roles on my boys. I like to buy them pink stuff and dolls and all that kind of thing, because I believe that, well, I don't want them to be limited to this whole, anyway, I don't like the boy girl, like girls like pink, boys like blue, and this is going off in a completely different direction. But this is, and this was a little eyeshadow thing, it's not even like eyeshadow, it's stickers. But anyway, I thought this is gonna be great. Look, so this is Anwen's little foundation plate now. Shake, 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 shake. And I'm going to apply. Shake, shake, shake. Look at this. Look. See, you don't need to be spending any money on one of these fancy foundation plates when you could just utilise something from your house. There's the flat top bit just to dip in the foundation, and away we go, away we go. Oh, wow. Straight away, I'll say, this is a lot quicker. Like, it's covering so much more surface area as the Beauty Blender does. Look at that. Look at that. It's just, that's like one half of my face done, half of my forehead. But you know what I mean. Wow, this is so quick, because with the Beauty Blender, you know, you've got like a smaller area and it's rounded. So this makes sense. It makes perfect sense that it's a flat area. Oh my gosh, I'm in love. I am in love, and I didn't think I was going to like this. I thought I was going to be like, I do not like this. This is just not for me. But I'm loving it. I'm saying it right now. Loving it. She's loving it. This is great. Okay, so I'm going to pick a little bit more up, and I'm going to go to do the other cheek. Why not? Let's do this other cheek side. Oh my gosh, this is impressive. Look. Just look at this. I mean, look at this. I cannot believe this. It's covering so much space on my face. Wow. You know, I'm always looking for ways that I can just be more efficient at doing everything in life. But particularly with makeup, because, you know, sometimes when you're applying your foundation and you're like, okay, I'm bouncing. And then you're just like, oh, okay, so I'm just going to use a mirror to go. That's like, see, this is handy, because I think the flat bit would be too big for the forehead. And it's good because you can get a really kind of, you know, clean line around your eyebrows, particularly if, like me, you do your eyebrows before you put your foundation on, which is what I tend to do. That's really handy, just to have that ease. And that's done. You know, this is so, it makes sense. It just makes perfect sense, because where's my, right, so here's my fake Beauty Blender, which is just the same. It looks just the same as a Beauty Blender. But if you compare, like, this one does make so much more sense, because you've got 13 different sides in total. And I mean, your face has, you know, it's like a mountain. It's like a mountain. You've got like ridges and bits where, you know, you need like this. Let's do concealer actually. Normally I would not be putting on this much concealer, but for the purpose of testing out the Beauty Blender, we're going to do it. So this is like the typical like beauty YouTuber concealer look, isn't it? Although this is probably very minimal compared to a lot of them. Sometimes I think to myself, why don't you just cover your whole face in concealer? Because they put foundation on and then by the time they blend out their concealer, it's covering everywhere anyway. I mean, concealer's just gone a bit crazy. I feel like also, by the way, this is my Naked Skin by Urban Decay concealer. I feel like it's a little bit too light, so please let's overlook that. Okay, this is so amazing. I think I'm converted, actually. I think that the Beauty Blender is now dead to me, and I am a full convert. I mean, the side with the way that it is just amazing. Accurately kind of blending the Beauty Blender. I always feel like you kind of just spread the product out. You just spread it as you're blending, but with this, because of the way that it's shaped, you know, you can be a lot more precise about getting the product in a specific area for maximum coverage, if you know what I mean. So, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to set this concealer immediately before it starts settling in my fine lines, because little Alex thought it would be hilarious last night to just wake up at 3:30 in the morning. He woke up, he was like, right, I'm awake, let's party. I'm like, pardon? No, this is not time to wake up, Alex. Right, so we're going to just do a little bit of the old, adding on some. Now, I've actually got out of the habit of applying powder with a beauty blender because I think I'm getting older now and I have lines under my eyes, and I just found that I think if I was a bit younger, maybe I could get away with applying powder with a sponge under my eyes, but you'll see what I mean in a minute. It's gonna look a little bit cakey, and that's just not a problem with the products, it's just a problem with my age, really, because, you know, I'm approaching that age now where I'm just still talking, she's not even in view. Where's my brush? I'll use this one. Okay, so just wipe that powder away. See what I mean? Wow. Wowie. So, I mean, in summary, I am so impressed with this beauty blender. This cost me £12. I got it from Boots, but I'm pretty sure in the UK you can buy it in Superdrug, Boots, wherever, loads of places probably. I know in the US you can buy this in Ulta, and elsewhere in the world I'm sure that you could purchase this online fairly easily. One thing I did notice was on the Ulta website this was $10, but it's £12 in the UK. And I would have thought, if anything, because it's made by Nick and Sam from Pixie Woo, I thought it would have been cheaper in the UK, but apparently not. It's cheaper in the US, which, because the dollar, like the pound, is that right? Yeah, the pound. So like if it's $10, it's like £8, is it? I don't know the current exchange rate, but that surprised me a bit. And by the way, I know the under eye is looking very, very ghostly right now. Please, I know. I think I need to get a darker shade of concealer. Well, I don't think, I know. Also, with the beauty blender, they do sell, you know, the mini beauty blenders, and they sell those ones for more precision blending. So beauty blender basically is saying, right, we've got the standard beauty blender, and this is for, you know, doing your base makeup and concealer. However, they're saying that this is for the base, but we're going to provide you with a smaller product because we don't feel, really, this is what they're saying, we don't feel that this is going to be good enough to do your under eye blending or to do like smaller areas. So they sell the mini beauty blender for what? Another £12. I think the beauty blender costs about £18. If you wanted to get like as good precision using a beauty blender, you not only have to buy the beauty blender, which costs £18, you also then have to buy the mini one, which costs another kind of £12 or so. So in total, you know, you're spending over £30, whereas you could spend like £12 and just buy this beast, and this beast will do everything you could ever wish for and more on your face. You could also use this, I imagine, to blend out like fake tan. You could, I mean, the possibilities are endless with this. I just feel like this is such a innovative and well-designed product. I'm so much more impressed with this than I thought I was going to be. I just thought this was going to be a complete gimmick and I was going to find it a bit fussy, but it's the complete opposite. My foundation went on so quickly, so easy to blend out the concealer under your eye, because you know, you get to that point in the deep corner and it's like it goes all Kanye West. It just goes wrong. I would definitely recommend that you look into maybe buying one of these next time your beauty blender is due for a renewal, because I don't think you'll be disappointed. I can't see how you would be disappointed if you enjoy using a sponge to apply foundation, because this actually does it so much quicker. And also you've got all these other options, like the side bit was just really good for like under the eye, like above like the cheekbone area. And if you do a bit of baking under the contour, I feel like this would also do the job. Look, this is like a flashback, isn't it? Anyone that came through the 80s and 90s, this is what I used to use to apply my foundation. We didn't have beauty blenders back in the day. We had these. This is what we used, these triangular things. Like with a beauty blender, if you wanted to get the precision that you get with this, you'd have a beauty blender, a mini beauty blender, and one of these. However, this has everything on it, and it also has the fantastic flat top for like super fast blending. So I'm so impressed with this. Another thing to mention is they do say that this needs to be replaced every 1 to 3 months. But I would have always thought, well, surely it depends how good a care you keep of it. Like, because for Christmas, my sister bought me the Beauty Blender Cleanser, and I would never have bought this because I just use, you know, like liquid hand soap, like Carex, whatever liquid hand soap we're using at the time. That was always what I would use to clean my beauty blenders, and it would always do a brilliant job. Also, I thought, until my lovely sister bought this for me, and I've never seen so much dirt and foundation come out of a beauty blender ever. And then it made me think, okay, so did I ever really clean my beauty blenders before? I don't know. I didn't want to buy into this because I thought, I just thought, oh no, I don't want to buy into this. I'm just going to use whatever I use to clean everything else. And now I've got this and I'm like, okay, so I don't think my beauty blender was ever cleaned before, ever. Yeah, I'd recommend the Beauty Blender Cleanser as well. It's brilliant. So I'm going to go now, but I'm definitely going to be using this like every day. I can't see why I would ever use my beauty blender. Actually, I can see why. When this is dirty and I just can't be bothered washing it, then the beauty blender will be my backup. Because let's face it, we put off, as humans, we will put off and put off and put off cleaning our beauty blenders. That's just the way it is. You do it, I do it, we're all guilty of it. So yeah, beauty blender now will be backup, I think, backup blender. I really like it. Very nice. Thank you as always for watching, and thank you for excusing my extremely white ghostly under eye. I know, very ghostly right now. I'll be back soon with more reviews. Bye. I do hope, I was just looking at this, and just one last thing, I do hope that they're going to bring out a black one of these or a darker coloured one, because the thing that I like about, like, my favourite beauty blender is my black one, because I can procrastinate for much longer about washing it because I can't see the true extent of the dirt. This, I've used it once. Look at this. They really need to get a black one. That's my one request. And I can also see that I think that this tip bit fairly easily would start to become a little bit like cummy offy, I think. Yes. Anyway, I'm going to go now with that. Just a couple of extra points. Okay, she's really going this time. Bye.